I didn't even make it through the front door before my mother's voice sliced through the air. "Look at him, wearing those same cheap clothes. God, it's Christmas. At least try not to embarrass us." I stood there, snow melting on my sleeves, boots leaving wet prints on the rug she wished I hadn't stepped on. My cousins smirked. My brother raised an eyebrow like I'd arrived carrying a contagious failure. And my mother, she didn't hug me. She didn't even pretend. She just looked at me the way someone looks at a broken appliance they regret buying. So I did what I'd come prepared to do. I stayed silent, composed, observant. Back when this family felt like home, there was a time I used to rush here. Mom used to pull me into the kitchen, feed me first, ask if I'd slept enough, worked too hard, needed money. Then I turned 18, left for college, and stopped sending her money I never promised. That's when her love adjusted, became conditional, transactional. She never said it, but I felt it every time she compared me to my brother. The real success. The one with a mortgage, a wife he controlled like furniture, and a job Dad secured through favors. I wasn't a product she could show off, so she stopped pretending. And then came the betrayal. It started with little things. A family group chat created without me. My calls ignored. My visits shortened by excuses. But the final shift came last year when I lost my job. I didn't tell them. I didn't want pity or drama. But word got around. Mom called me, not to ask if I was okay, but to ask if I needed to move back in, just until I get myself together. Her tone made my spine tighten. I told her no, I'd figure it out. "That's what I'm afraid of," she sighed. "You trying to be independent when you clearly can't." It wasn't concern, it was disappointment disguised as care. Then, fate intervened. A month later, I won the lottery. $100 million. I didn't scream, I didn't celebrate. I sat there, holding the ticket, thinking about every moment this family made me feel less than. Every time they talked down to me, all the love that came with conditions attached. And I realized something sharp and cold. They didn't deserve the version of me that would have shared this. They deserved the version that remembered. So I cashed the ticket quietly. Lawyers, financial advisors, everything under trusts and new accounts they'd never trace. Not a single cent touched my known bank. No announcements, no boasting, no changes they could detect. I bought nothing new. I kept my old clothes, old car, old life, on the surface, and I waited for Christmas. Tonight was the payoff. Mom made me eat on the porch because there wasn't enough space at the table. There was, I counted 3 empty chairs. When I finally stood to leave, she rolled her eyes dramatically. "At least take the trash out before you go," she said. I nodded, walked to the coat rack, and let the folded lottery ticket fall from my pocket. The scratchy sound of paper hitting hardwood echoed. Mom swooped down faster than I'd ever seen her move. She grabbed it, eyes widening so fast it looked painful. Is this real? Is this—" Her voice trembled with a hunger she didn't bother masking. I let her stare at it, let the family crowd around her like vultures circling a glittering corpse. Then I sighed softly. "It's worthless." Her head snapped up. "What? I already cashed it, months ago." You could have heard the tree lights buzzing. Her expression twisted, hope collapsing into greed, then into rage. "You cashed it without telling us?" "Why would I?" I asked calmly. "You made it very clear I'm not part of this family." My brother's voice cracked. "You're lying." "Am I?" I stepped closer, lowered my voice. "You've all spent years treating me like I'm beneath you. Tonight was just the final confirmation." Mom clutched the ticket so tightly it wrinkled. "That money would have helped this family." "That family," I said, nodding at the group huddled around her, "has never helped me." The silence tasted like victory. The walk to the door felt like stepping out of a prison. Behind me they argued, accusing, begging, bargaining with each other more than with me. They hadn't lost money, they lost access to someone they assumed would always stay small. I opened the door, letting cold air rush in. Mom's voice broke through one last time. "Don't do this! We're your family!" I looked back, calm as snowfall. "No, you're my blood. Family is earned." And with that, I stepped into the night, lighter, freer, and no longer theirs. The door shut behind me, and for the first time in my life, I didn't look back.